We've talked a lot about how the ocean is mysterious and how there are tons of strange and scary creatures down there. And honestly, when it comes to oceans, I don't think we're ever going to be able to know everything there is to actually know about them. Some of the things that happen down there will always be a mystery to us. One thing I find very impressive and mysterious about oceans is the presence of large underwater sinkholes in different parts of the world. These spots look refreshing and inviting, but something about them also makes me stay cautious, especially considering the fact that they're too deep and we really don't know what we could find down there. Today we're going to be looking at 10 deepest holes in the oceans. We'll have a look at different spots around the world and find the deepest and most mysterious blue holes around the globe. Maybe you know about the largest one, and if you do, know for sure that it's included on this list. But is the largest one also the deepest one? Stay with me all the way to the top of the list and let's find out. Number 10. Blue Holes of Andros. Or Andros, either or. We start this list with not one, but more than 100 blue holes. The thing is, the Bahamas is surrounded by tons of these blue holes. And there are about 178 of them inside Andros Island and 50 in the sea. Apparently this exotic location is a diving haven where you can find tons of cave fish and other strange animals that you can't find anywhere else in the world. In fact, some people claim that one of these blue holes is home to the mythical creature Lusca, which is a popular sea monster in Caribbean folklore. Surprisingly, Andros is the largest island of the Bahamas and one of the largest islands in the Caribbean. But still, it's also one of the less developed, which makes it a perfect destination for those who want to be closer to nature. It sounds like the perfect paradise, and I just hope you're ready to find some strange creatures inside those blue holes. Number 9. Blue Holes of Abaco. Like I said, the islands in the Bahamas are surrounded by lots of blue holes, and not all of them are in Andros. The island of Abaco is also famous for its blue holes. Divers from all over the world come to this spot to explore the wonders and mysteries inside. Some of the blue holes are inland, and they can be anything between 80 to 330 feet deep. That's about the size of the Statue of Liberty. One of the most famous spots is Nancy's Blue Holes, which is located inside a mangrove swamp. And then there's also the Farside Blue Hole, which is also called the Magical Blue Hole, with crystal clear water that some people claim makes them feel as if they're floating in the air. That sounds pretty magical, honestly. However, the most impressive blue holes are the ones in the sea, which are known for their complex cave systems. But beware, accessing them can be tricky. Sometimes the current is so strong that it might lead to a disaster if you come through the wrong side at the wrong time. For that reason, it is encouraged to study the tides at each side before going in. However, once you're in, these caves will show you things you haven't seen before. Number 8. Blue Holes of Palau. The ocean is indeed mysterious, but what's even more mysterious is the list of remote islands that not many people have been able to visit. Such is the case of Micronesia. I'm sure many of you have heard about this place, but do you know many people who have been here? I don't know about you, but I rarely hear about it. Micronesia is a region of the West Pacific Ocean that is made out of thousands of islands, and more than 500 of these islands are part of a country called Palau. It's in this place where you can find 4 amazing blue holes that you can access at the top of the reef. The shallowest of the 4 is at about 3 feet from the reef and at about 120 feet from the bottom of the cavern. That is pretty deep, but it's the perfect spot for those who are new to diving. Of course, that is if they're okay with the idea of having a cavern open wide above their heads. The spot is also perfect for photos, as the entrance to the cavern opens in a way that allows light to come in, providing some backlighting effects that will surely make people wish they were there. Number 7. Watling's Blue Hole. And we're back to the Bahamas. This time the blue hole is on the southwestern side of an island called San Salvador. And even though the hole is inland, we can still consider it part of the ocean, because when you look at its waters, you'll realize it's not fresh water, but instead it's seawater. This shows that it must be somehow connected to the ocean through an underground tunnel. Watling's Blue Hole is just one of many wonders in San Salvador Island. Apparently, this place is perfect for ecotourism. Besides the Blue Hole, the island is full of dunes and crystal clear lakes. And there are also 5 areas that have been designated as national parks, in which you can come face to face with lots of birds and iguanas. There are palm trees, but there are also giant cacti, which means there's a ton of diversity in this place alone. Number 6. Santa Rosa Blue Hole, New Mexico. Alright, the next blue hole is not in the ocean, but it is worth mentioning due to the fact that it's so deep, as well as that some years ago, some people lost their lives while exploring it. It is located in New Mexico, and it's just off the legendary Route 66 in the middle of the desert. With surprisingly clear waters, this place has been the perfect oasis for all sorts of travelers that need a quick splash while moving across one of the hottest parts of the United States. At some point, the place also became popular for diving. That was because they realized that there was an underwater cavern that was about 225 feet deep. Unfortunately, in 1976, a couple of divers got trapped in the underwater caves and never came to surface to tell their story. The entrance to the cave had to be closed. However, in 2013, some adventurous and experienced divers got permission to enter the mysterious caves and map the entire place. Up until today, the exploration keeps going, and no one really knows how far these caves go. Would you dare to explore a place like this someday? Number 5. The Blue Holes of Gazo. One of the most impressive things about the Blue Hole in Gazo is the landscape that surrounds it. The whole place is made out of limestone rock, and from the entrance you can spot the famous Azure Window, which is a limestone natural arch that certainly looks like the postcard photo you would like to send to your friends and relatives back at home. The Blue Hole starts in a 32 feet wide natural pool that descends into a narrow opening that leads you into the sea. Once you're there, you can explore all sorts of marine life. One of the highlights of this diving adventure is going through a large vertical crack that they may call the chimney. The chimney is almost 60 feet long, and from there you can see an amazing coral garden. But if swimming in the open sea sounds too scary, you can also stay and explore the cave at the far end of the hole. In other words, if you're claustrophobic, you can always go to the open sea. And if you're not afraid of open spaces, you can stay and explore the cave. Both sound challenging, but I bet the views must be unique. Number 4. The Blue Hole of Dahab. It looks like blue holes are all over the world, even in unexpected places, like Egypt. When I think of Egypt, I think of pyramids and journeys through the desert and Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's because I'm a nerd. But apparently they also have one of the most impressive blue holes in the world. The Blue Hole of Dahab is in East Sinai, along the coast of the Red Sea. This underwater sinkhole is about 300 feet deep, which makes it one of the deepest holes in the world. Its opening is very shallow, and people call it the Saddle. From there, you can access the ocean or explore a tunnel that they call the Arch. The place is constantly visited by divers, so you can expect to see them there at any time during the year. However, it is worth noting that the place is also known to be the most dangerous diving site in the world. That's because there have been lots of fatalities while divers tried to find the tunnel that connects the blue hole to the ocean. This is not the kind of accident you can easily get out of, especially when you're more than 100 feet underwater. Number 3. Dean's Blue Hole. And once again, we have another blue hole in the Bahamas. I promise this is the last one on the list, but perhaps it's also the most impressive one in the Bahamas. This one is about 663 feet deep, and according to people who have been there, the place is surrounded on 3 sides by a natural rock formation shaped like an amphitheater, while the 4th side is an exit into a natural pool and a white sand beach. Best of all, there's no waves. The calm waters allow for visibility between 50 to 100 feet deep, and even though the opening on the surface is a bit narrow, the whole thing leads into a cavern with an opening with a diameter of 300 feet. That would definitely make anyone feel small. Since the spot is calm, it has become the perfect scenario to host the International Freediving Competition annually. Now it's time for the day's best pick. The picture I have for you today shows exactly what I think it's like to swim in one of these blue holes. This person looks like an ant lost in the ocean. But what's the largest blue hole in the world? Let's find out with number 2. The Great Blue Hole. When you think of blue holes, you probably think of this one, the Great Blue Hole in Belize. This iconic location is part of the larger Belize Barrier Reef Reserve System, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I can totally see why. This place is a 400-foot deep sinkhole that has become the ultimate destination for divers and any ocean lover out there. Through the crystal clear waters, you can encounter lots of interesting creatures, such as the midnight parrotfish and the Caribbean reef shark, as well as lots of amazing coral formations. The diameter of the entrance is about 1,000 feet long, which makes it the overall largest one in the world. However, that's not necessarily the deepest one. There is another blue hole in the world that doesn't have an entrance as wide as the one in Belize, but it's definitely deeper. Before we move on, do me a favor. My analytics show that only about 15% of you watching are actually subscribed. Come on guys, what's up with that? Can you guys please hit the subscribe button? You guys watch my videos every day anyway, so you might as well subscribe and keep up to date with every video we put out. Number 1. The Dragon Hole. The Dragon Hole is at the moment the deepest blue hole in the world. It's more than 300 feet deep and local people call it the Eye of the South China Sea. This amazing spot is part of the Paracel Islands and it was discovered by local fishermen. After that, local authorities made use of a robot to explore the mysterious spot, and that's how they found out that it was the deepest blue hole in the world. Overall, blue holes are of great importance to scientists as they contain information that can help them understand climate change, marine life, and other important data. The exploration of the Dragon Hole certainly brought a lot of relevant information to the scientific world. For now, these are the most impressive and deepest holes in the ocean. Which one was the most interesting to you? Have you visited any of them? Please let us know in the comment section down below. With all that said and done, that's our video for the day, folks, and I will see you all next time. Later, everybody.